Chris and Ragini, and let me make sure that everything is sharing well here. But with that, feel free to make sure that you're talking to the mic, and I'll check in on Zoom and see if anyone has any issues.
So while Dr. Patel checks in on Zoom, my name is Chris Biser. I'm a third-year student pharmacist here at Pitt Pharmacy.
My name is Ragini Rangan. I'm also a third-year student pharmacist at the University of Pittsburgh School of Pharmacy.
And we're here to talk to you about something called RxCore, which we'll touch on in a little bit. But we're good. Nice, good deal. But next step. But how do we find ourselves here? Both Ragini and I are members of the Pharmacy Business Administration area of concentration here at Pitt Pharmacy. And as part of that area of concentration, we partner with a faculty mentor, in this case Dr. Patel, to do a project relating to this sphere, which in our case tied very much into hospital pharmacy administration. For us, it satisfies both a credit requirement as well as a project requirement. We're actually looking to present this project to the leaders of our area of concentration in a couple months. So we started the semester off with some almost remote learning. We used LinkedIn Learning as a kind of framework for our class, for our quote-unquote classes. We're looking into LinkedIn Learning courses regarding business planning, strategic thinking, and as well as some sources relating to the Lean Startup Canvas model for a business plan for startups of sorts that Dr. Patel referred us to.
We also had conversations with many stakeholders at both UPMC and Pitt Pharmacy, and we also got to draft a proposal reconciling the wants of various stakeholders with the needs identified in the discussions. So for example, UPMC pharmacy leadership wanted to improve the number of publications each year, and we took that into consideration when speaking to pharmacists that actually care for patients to get their point of view.
All right, so I mentioned something called RxCore in the title slide, and to preface this, RxCore at the moment doesn't exist. However, this open-ended problem Dr. Patel references, our goal was to pose a potential solution for that. And we came up with RxCore conjunctly with our stakeholders we discussed throughout the semester. Some roles and goals of RxCore are listed on the slide there. Most broadly, the idea behind RxCore is to bring together unit-based pharmacists of UPMC, the pharmacy residents of UPMC, and the Pitt Pharmacy faculty, fellows, research expertise at Pitt Pharmacy under one umbrella so that they can work together. We came across the need for a way to centralize, a way to track research that's going on across the two organizations. At the moment, research is done in a very siloed. One research group knows what we're doing, and that's about it. However, the idea behind RxCore is to bring that together under even just a list, with RxCore leadership to track what's going on, what progress is being made with research, so that leadership actually knows what's going on from a research standpoint. Another goal is to stress that unit-based pharmacists at UPMC might not have support that they need to thoroughly investigate ideas they have to improve patient care and actually implement them in practice. A goal of RxCore would be to link these unit-based pharmacists with the research expertise that they might need from a Pitt Pharmacy faculty partnership, and that can lead to actually validating ideas and eventually implementing this in patient care. And lastly, the idea that pharmacists and pharmacy across UPMC doesn't quite highlight their impact to the health system as a whole was brought up. RxCore could potentially address this goal by reporting out annually what kind of innovations is pharmacy studying and bringing into patient care, how many publications are we generating, kind of deal related to the health system as a whole, even to the medical executive committee on an annual basis.
So moving on to lessons learned and future steps, we learned a whole lot, but we just wanted to highlight two things. So the first thing would be working in the unknown. The hardest part of this is there was no right or wrong answers, which in pharmacy school there are. So it was a huge adjustment for both of us. And then also in terms of our communication skills, I feel like we both really improved, especially with going through all the stakeholder interviews, especially with continuous feedback not only from Dr. Patel, but our stakeholders in our draft. And for the future of this project, our first draft of the proposal is currently under review, and we will need subsequent drafts until the final version is completed. So if you're interested in strategic planning, business proposal writing, conducting interviews, and networking, you should have a stake in this project, maybe.
Reach out to doctors.
So thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
All right with their presenters, I'll throw it
if anybody has any questions, and you can save them from my litany of questions that I always have. So any questions from our audience? And my apologies if I can't see.
I have a question. I'm a med student at Pitt, and I feel like we're very siloed, and I wish we were friends more. And I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on like how to combine across fields, because I feel like the med school, like they're like their own kind of thing. Yeah,
it's a great question. So just for the Zoom squad, the question is medicine is very siloed. We have an opinion here that sometimes medicine and pharmacy don't work together enough. How could RxCore tie in medicine? So RxCore at the moment is with pharmacy leadership at UPMC and kind of school of pharmacy leadership, but I don't see it as a great step. If this is implemented, I don't see why it would be difficult to get physician leadership involved in RxCore to track what kind of research is going on with physicians and to tie in pharmacy expertise on physician work projects and to get that physician viewpoint on anything that pharmacy is working on. I think it is ripe for interprofessional collaboration once we get it off the ground.
Sounds good. Thanks.
I didn't think I saw it, but would you also include patients?
The question from the audience here is, will we include patients? So that's a great question. And I'll be honest, that's not something I've thought of. Forgot me if you thought about that point. But so I think patients are integral, are almost already included in pharmacist research because pharmacists are looking to implement interventions that work with patients. Patients are needed to investigate on how effective are these improvements in patient care. Now, would it be nice to formalize this relationship? Yeah, we were in a course in health program evaluation down at Public Health School this semester, and the idea of bringing almost not the customer viewpoint, but bringing key informants of a patient population, say we're working in the transplant population, bring in people who have received a transplant or currently receiving care to get their input on a pharmacy innovation. So yeah, I think bringing in key informants from the patient population would be a good addition in the future. I appreciate the suggestion.
I gotta play the happy uncle card. One last round of applause and congratulations. I duly love that there is no right answer takeaway because that's a unique challenge that we all always come across. As we turn to our first Zoom-based presentation, I wanted to check in with our colleagues, Vinesh and David. You guys wanted to do a test with your audio real quick or video if you're sharing.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, everyone in the audience, we're getting thumbs up. And David.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, you're coming through just fine. And the thing that I'll pull over is your image so we can see as you're speaking. Just let me know as you'd like to move on to your next slides.